Hey everyone, it's Rye 1940 here, and today we've got a quick guide for doing helicopter-based naval depot attacks. Now, in Enigma's Cold War server, there are a few types of scores that impact the overall campaign and the ticks that happen. One is the depot health. At the time of this video, the depot health is capped at 200 points. The naval sector alone accounts for 100 of these points. The unique thing is that the ships do not get repaired at the midpoint tick 2 hours into the game, so if you sink these ships fast at the start, you'll impact 2 tick cycles, the midpoint tick and the server reset tick. Now you can sink these ships and oil rigs with jets and normal weapons like bombs and rockets, but if you need a change of pace from doing the troop drops ashore, I'm going to show you all you need to know for getting some spec op troops done at sea. Alright, once you log into the game, I always like to filter out the MI8, and if you're flying the MI8, I recommend you do that so you don't have to go through all the different slots. And it's pretty easy here. If you're scrolling down all the way down the list, you're going to see at the very end there are FARP C depots, and now there's only 4 of them because there's only 4 ships that you can take off from. And the same goes for blue with the Hueys. There's only 4 C depot FARP slots that they could lift from. And it's just as simple as clicking on one of those and then going into the game, and now you're going to start on the ship. If you look at the F10 map, you'll see 2 naval sectors, and within them you'll see 2 red dots or 2 blue dots, and these dots mark the general location of the FARP. And it's important to note a couple things about these vessels. All the vessels in the sector, including the ships that are acting as FARPs, do not move. The FARPs themselves are warships, so they do have CWIS defensive guns on them, and if you get too close to them, you will get shot down. Now that we've got a basic understanding of where we're operating from, let's take a look at what it looks like to be out there in the enemy naval sector.
This counts as their depot health.
As you can see, there's no shortage of targets. There are tankers, there are oil rigs, there are bulk carrier ships, and there are the enemy warships that are acting as the FARPs for the blue Hueys. What isn't out there is a lot of viable cover for you to hide behind. The biggest danger here is being spotted by enemy aircraft, especially if there's a human GCI online who could vector jets directly to you. It is very important to fly as low as possible for high-speed cruises into the area, and this isn't a hard and fast rule for GCIs, but you want to generally stay under 20 meters and ideally keep it around 10 meters over the waves if possible. In the naval sectors, each side has a mix of oil rigs, oil tankers, and bulk carriers like we've seen. These vessels amount to 10 in total, which if we destroy all of them will bring the enemy depot health down from 200 to 100. Like I said earlier, this health is gone for the rest of the time the game is running until the server resets. It carries the most impact if you and some others can eliminate these ships before the first tick occurs 2 hours into the game. The ships can be destroyed by using 1 SOF per vessel. The mission lasts for 3 minutes, and you can either land on the vessel directly, or if you hover and touch your wheel into the sea, you will release Special Operations Forces into the water. If you do this method, you must ensure that you're within 2 kilometers of the target, or the mission will not be successful. For the oil rig, I've tested and verified offline that you can land on the flat areas of the structure. You don't have to land on the pad if you don't want to. I've also verified the nets on the pad don't appear to cause damage if you were worried about that. I know I was for the longest time. Now that we know how to tackle these vessels on our own, what's the strategy for working together? The wonderful thing about these naval strike missions I really enjoy is the ability to essentially dismantle that entire naval sector with 2 hips in about 25 or 30 minutes, and that includes the transit time out to each target. If you've got 2 hips, divide the C sector into half. Each hip works southbound and drops the SOF guys on each target they come across. If you're trying to be as fast as possible, you don't want to hang around to pick up your SOF guys. Keep moving on and dropping on the next target. If you time it just right, you can drop just as your previous drop is being accomplished. The hip can only hold 4 SOF teams, and if we were to half the sector, that makes us responsible for 5 targets. So on the final drop, on the 4th one, you're going to have to pick up the SOF guys and carry them off to that final 5th target. After the C sector is demolished, you can try to go back and recover all your SOF guys on the way home, or you can cruise down off the coast of Batumi and attempt to use your SOF guys on the factory that's located there. Even if you didn't want to attack it, it's still a good idea to at least fly down there a little bit and get some eyes on it. If people were unsure which factories have been destroyed, that would help them out greatly. On your way home, you should be extra careful to avoid the blue FARP ships. You can get relatively close to them without being shot at, but even I still managed to get hit by 3 of them while occupied typing things in the chat. I absolutely love doing these missions, and especially love taking the Hip Gang out and to sea and working with them. If that's something that you're interested in, you could join our Discord that's linked in the description, and we'd be happy to fly with you. If you have any questions concerning this naval mission for Enigma's Cold War server, you can ask them here, or you could ask them in that Discord, and I'll be happy to help. Well, that's it for me now, so I'll see you on the next one. Bye!